She has broken norms, stereotypes, and the quiet limitation that Indonesian women have carried for many generations.
A journey is always a long one.
Bener gak sih, your boldness ini already came like naturally since you're born?
That's an important but not easy exercise. Is this really what I want? Yes. Will I be good at this one day?
For the women, they always feel that they are not enough.
I was teaching myself early to not believe in that. To not believe when someone says, oh, that's not good enough.
Welcome to the very first episode of The Shining Woman. This is a space where we talk about the truth behind a woman's journey and the struggles, the breakthroughs, and also the insecurities and the identity shift that shape who we become. And today we begin with a woman who inspire me personally and also inspire me in many ways. And these women show us that ambition is not a sin, courage is not arrogance, and stepping into your power is not something to apologize for. And my guest is Sila Henriette. And she is a bold, strong-minded Indonesian woman who has built her career for maybe over a decade. And also now she leads in a global consulting company. She has broken norms, stereotypes, and the quiet limitation that Indonesian women have carried for many generations. And Sila, thank you so much for being here. I'm so happy that you can join for our very first episode of The Shining Woman.
Very
Thank you so much.
exciting. Very exciting. Thank you for
Yeah.
having me.
Yeah, you can really see this is Sila and very bold from the way you appear here gitu ya, with your appearance, with your character. And if I would like to introduce yourself here, so you're not only a consultant, you are also a teacher and you're a entrepreneur, businesswoman, and then writers, dancers, so many identities gitu. And then pastinya nggak cuma sebentar. It's not only like instantly you become like that.
No,
Yeah,
of course
it's
not.
so many things, so many journeys. So let's go back into the beginning, how you start your career journey. Mungkin awalnya dari situ ya.
Okay, yeah, sure. And thank you so much for having me. I think Shining Women will be very, exciting, an exciting platform for women to reflect, to get inspiration, but also to feel good about themselves because, a journey is always a long one. So when I started my career, actually it was in Jakarta. I was working for a multinational company. And but I have worked since before I was working in Jakarta. So I was already working when I was a student. So it was a very, when you're a student and then
So the whole life you're working and working and
yeah,
till
I
today.
started working quite early. I was like, I think 18 when you
18.
started doing part-time jobs.
But do you still remember how much did you get paid? I mean, like maybe not a lot, but it's always like when you start something, you just remember that moment.
Yeah.
Gitu. Berapa sih?
Berapa
pertama
ya? I didn't count my first earning. I didn't really need to count back then because my parents were funding my studies. But I remember there was a moment. It's a defining moment when my mom said to me, you need to go back to the house because they were building a house in Jogja, and then they said, hey, you need to come to the house. So we stopped the kos-kosan, and then that was for me a defining moment because I didn't want to go to my parents' house. So I said to them, oh no, I'm gonna find a job that can allow me to get money to pay for my own costs. At least, for the kos-kosan, I can pay. Jadi because of that, then I thought, okay, then I need to get a job. So I became like a teaching assistant in university, in engineering school, you will have laboratory, and then you can become an assistant and you get paid. So those jobs gave me more than enough income to pay for my own kos-kosan. Yeah, so that was the defining moment because I rejected the idea of going back to my parents' house.
And then how the reaction of your parents? Maksudnya you don't want to live with us anymore, and then you just wanna earn your money before you get your degree. Gimana reaksi dari orang tua?
Awalnya I think my mom was she's like she didn't think I was gonna get a job immediately, you know. She thought that she's gonna come back, at least give her a month. That's not gonna work out. But I remember that day I wake up, I get out of my course, I went to the campus and then try to find a job, and I got two, not one. So
Wow, so your mom already surprised, or she already know what type of woman that she raised gitu. So bener gak sih your boldness ini already came like naturally since you're born, because you just told me you have a strong will dari saat itu. Is that
Yeah.
right atau?
I think part of it is natural, but a lot of it also from my environment. I grew up in Manado. You know, it's a place where you can be open, you can be who you are. It's not so much following norms. You know, there are norms, obviously, it's Indonesia, but in Manado, you have a lot more freedom to follow your heart, to be bold, to say what you think. I think that already conditioned me to be a bit more bold. I realized this because when I went to high school, that was in boarding school in Yogyakarta. Jadi sekolah yang ada asramanya. Jadi waktu itu I started meeting girls from many different cities in Indonesia. Also, my best friend is from Jogja, and then I realized, oh, I'm not normal, so I'm actually bold and I'm different from my friends. And I learned that in Java, of course,
You need
women
more
are raised
toned down,
a
be
lot more
calm.
exactly toned down. You have to, more reserved. You don't say immediately what you think. So in the
It's
beginning,
not change you into someone different atau you just adjust and
I love
accept that.
learning that. To be honest, I learned a lot in Jogja to be also more considerate about other people. There are moments that when you talk to parents, you choose different level of Japanese language. And to me, that is, as an Indonesian woman, I felt, oh wow, this is nice thing to learn. So you show respect to elderly, to other people. That's something I love. But it didn't change me to become less bold, but it only made me more considerate as a woman. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good thing ya, karena sometimes when we move to another city, I also grew up in a small city, not in a center di Sumatera. When I moved to Jakarta, everything is really difficult for me. They cannot accept who I was gitu. Pasti dia pikir kayak, oh, you need to be this certain standard to be accepted gitu kan. Termasuk mungkin di Jogja dulu kan ya, mungkin dari Manado ke Jogja orang ngerasa this person is too loud atau mungkin terlalu bold, terlalu straightforward, tapi it's not change you, make you feel down ya karena berbeda gitu. So you just born with that boldness and then you try to accept what people criticize you. Jadi that's
No,
what I
actually,
try to summarize.
yeah, but the journey of believing in myself, it's not only with myself. Of course, my friends, around me, they accepted me. So then I felt, okay, you have a place in the world. But I think my mom was also very important. In Manado, I remember when I didn't want to do school tasks, she will ask me, what do you want to do? And then she will ask me, for example, in SD, in the elementary school, you always have to make this prakarya, topi, and keranjang, right? And I said, I'm not going to do that. I don't like doing that. So my mom said, okay, what do you want to do? And I said, I want to make a painting with papers and, cut papers and put a painting. She said, yeah, do it now. But then the next day, she didn't let me go to school alone. She actually came with me to school and explained to the teachers that she wants to do this instead of the hat and the basket. So yeah, so then I learned that my mom accepted me. So there is a place. If you want to be bold, if someone supports you, then you will feel that's okay, you can do that. Yeah.
That's really good. I really like to hear kayak support from parents itu yang shape our character. So you try to be more understanding like that. But not everyone is like your mom, not a safe
That's
place that always like give you a support, understand you, then trying to explain to other people she's different. Nggak semua kayak gitu kan. Termasuk di dunia kerja mungkin nggak semua orang segitu terbukanya begitu ya.
Terbukanya,
Mungkin
iya.
ada yang kayak punya stigma, no, this is the norms, this is
Yes,
how you supposed to dress, how you supposed to wear, how you
correct.
supposed to talk to people. Nah, itu ketemu nggak sih di dunia kerja?
Di
Kasih
dunia kerja, jadi pertama kerja profesional tuh di Jakarta. Sebenarnya sama sih, Dita tadi cerita
ya
waktu
ngomongin
pindah.
Jakarta kayaknya ya
Iya, pindah ke
sama.
Jakarta tuh
Shock
pasti
ya,
challenging
kaget,
ya,
shock.
iya, karena kerjanya kebetulan di, perusahaan, asing gitu, perusahaan asing, terus semua kan rata-rata anak-anak Indonesianya yang lumayan pintar, pendidikannya tinggi gitu, jadi sense of competition-nya juga lumayan tinggi gitu.
Keras ya Jakarta tuh keras bener.
Iya, lumayan keras, lumayan apa ya,
Kompetitif,
kompetitif,
iya,
betul,
heeh
heeh.
heeh.
Jadi pada saat itu, mulai ngerasa sih, wah ini kalau nggak fokus, pasti repotnya ke hal-hal yang lain gitu. Maksudnya yang diurusin, omongan orang, atau, prejudice orang, atau orang ngerasa, "Ah, lo dari Jogja, lo bisa apa sih?" Gitu. Jadi lebih ke hal-hal itu. Untungnya, pada saat itu memang pentingnya untuk nurture rasa percaya diri ya bahwa, "Oh, I'm here to work, I'm here to build my career." Jadi fokus on what I had to focus on. Itu sih di Jakarta nggak gampang memang. Sempat ada saat-saat nggak terlalu punya banyak teman ya di dunia pekerjaan. Tapi ada aja sih kalau kita apa,
Good
jujur sama
intention,
diri kita
iya.
sendiri, betul, good intention ada aja sih. Sampai sekarang sahabat-sahabat saya masih sahabat saya pada, di saat sekarang, maksudnya sahabat di pekerjaan, sampai sekarang mereka masih sahabat saya. Jadi
That's the true
you meet
best
the
friend,
ya you
yeah.
will meet real friends sih.
Kayak friends will come and go, yang mungkin memang not staying in our life, memang not supposed to be there.
Betul sekali.
Ya memang, namanya big city ya, big opportunities juga, big, challenge juga di situ. Tapi pasti ada norma-norma yang mungkin nggak semua orang stated that's the norm, tapi
Betul.
they just do it gitu. Itu apa sih norma-norma? Ada nggak sih yang kebayang, apa sih norma perempuan, mungkin perempuan Indonesia yang dipahami semua harus begini, and then you actually break that norms?
Banyak ya, tapi mungkin
Nggak apa-apa, we have time to make a list, ada ini bisa ditulis juga listnya apa aja.
banyak tuh karena sebenarnya cuma kita kan ada yang istilahnya namanya subconscious ya, ada hal-hal yang sudah kita pelajari dari kita kecil, kemudian kita berkembang, jadi orang dewasa, tapi hal-hal ini jadinya suatu yang di bawah alam
Alam sadar.
sadar sebenarnya. Kita nggak tahu bahwa kita, perbuatan kita hanya mengikuti norms, bukan mengikuti hati.
Bener bener.
Nah, itu yang penting sih. Jadi kalau, when, you're growing as a more mature woman, it's very important to question, ini datang dari orang lain atau ini datang dari saya? Nah, itu tuh agak sulit memang, nggak mudah gitu. Waktu kayaknya salah satu di dalam dunia pekerjaan, salah satu menurut saya yang membuat kunci sukses itu nggak bisa sih ngikutin orang terus gitu tuh nggak bisa. Jadi contoh lagi bekerja, karirnya udah lumayan jalan, setahun nggak lama-lama sih, inget saya di Jakarta tuh setahun udah ada yang nawarin, "Mau nggak kerja di tempat lain?" Nah, kalau waktu itu mikirin, "Wah enak nih,
Batu loncatannya ya
cepat,
ke
duitnya
sana.
banyak," wah langsung padahal bayarnya bisa double, 3 kali lipat kalau pindah, terus nanti ditawarin lagi, pindah lagi. Wah itu kan artinya kita nggak bangun expertise yang, apa ya, yang sifatnya mendalam gitu, jadinya kita loncat-loncat. Nah kalau loncat-loncat saya rasa juga kesuksesannya nggak sama dengan, oke ini I will
Yang
struggle
linear,
through, ya I
iya,
will struggle through this field and I become an expert, terus akhirnya ternyata itu lebih fruitful. Cuma waktu itu kalau normanya kan ya namanya zaman di Jakarta gaji tuh 3 juta ya. Jadi you barely you barely make ends meet gitu. Jadi, tentu godaan, wah tiba-tiba dia mau bayar 6 juta itu kan kayak wah it's almost physical, ya I need that money. Tapi kalau nggak oke, disiplin, tertib, kita, berani stay di field yang sekarang, tapi nanti ternyata, lebih fruitful sih jangka panjangnya.
Itu bagus sih, maksudnya when you start your career kan it's so early and then you already have that long term mindset gitu ya, timeline di dalam kepala. Maybe people will criticize your decision dan bilang kenapa sih nggak pindah aja, maksudnya kan gaji 3 juta dapat apa sih, kayak how long you're gonna wait until you become an expert, itu kan pasti
Betul.
banyak. Terus nanti belum lagi kalau misalkan one day you're gonna get married, you have kids and then you will never go anywhere with that small money, pasti kan itu adalah stigma-stigma yang muncul. Terus how you stay like close your eyes and ears to
Yeah.
those people, itu apa sih yang bikin strong belief gitu?
Yeah, it's that's an important but not easy exercise. You know, the exercise is always more internal gitu. Maksudnya reflect ya. Okay, is this really what I want? Yes. Will I be good at this one day? And then I believe that I will be good at this one day. Walaupun waktu itu mungkin belum good, tapi with time, you know, I will become good. Ya, tapi to be honest, financially fruitful itu nggak lama sih. Maksudnya susahnya tuh paling 2 tahun, 3 tahun, and then things open up, things change if you are really hardworking, tapi also of course you are growing in what you do. Criticism pasti ada aja ya, cuma waktu itu mungkin lebih fokus ke diri sendiri ya. Diri sendiri bukan artinya selfish, tapi okay, this is a very important moment for me to, you know, to focus on how I feel, what I believe. Karena kalau dengar kiri, dengar kanan kayaknya nggak ada habisnya sih. Waktu itu juga di Jakarta lumayan apa ya, challenging lah ya untuk, you know, finding what you want to do, people believe in you. Tapi ada aja sih, teman-teman deket juga ada aja yang sangat supportive, you know, becoming my like a
Support system
support
juga.
system. Exactly.
Oke, mungkin that's one thing that we need ya, as a woman we need a support system. We cannot do everything alone. Benar, we cannot just keep our story, our journey, our struggle alone. Ya, we need someone that actually know that they are there gitu to help us. Tapi talking about Jakarta, ini baru sampai Jogja dan Jakarta dan Manado, but you travel around the world, you work all over the world gitu kan. Pasti people not only underestimate you as a woman ya, maybe like as a Indonesian in international stage, as a working woman, itu maksudnya sampai sekarang menjadi stigma perempuan kerja buat apa gitu. Karena nanti ujung-ujungnya bakal di rumah juga. Mungkin itu ada that stigma yang Indonesian. Tapi people out there juga masih underestimate, you're Indonesian, kayak maybe you're not even like native speaker, how can you like
Exactly.
yes bisa kerja di dunia ini. Nah itu ada nggak sih pengalaman yang mungkin bisa di-sharing supaya
Banyak
kita
sekali,
ya yang
ya.
mau start di awal nih, aduh jangan pusingin dulu deh kerja dari rumah aja udah takut, karena orang yang di luar negeri juga banyak saingannya. Jadi maybe you just share how you actually overcome everything.
Sure. Kebetulan kerjaan sebagai global consultant itu memang pada dasarnya nggak mudah gitu, karena yang harus di-master banyak hal. Pertama pekerjaan kita sendiri ya, jadi substance konten kita juga harus tahu luar dalam. Udah gitu project-nya kan berbeda-beda. Nah jadi we also need to be able to think on our own feet gitu. And then next to that language. Like you said, if you're Indonesian and then if I come into a room and I sound like I'm Indonesian, you know, I cannot speak English properly, of course people will underestimate gitu. Jadi that first impression, because the way I look, I'm also a small, you know, petite woman in a business world. So it's very important that my command, you know, English command, so language command, but also content command is high. Because when you go in, people believe, oh yeah, she can do her job. She knows what she's talking about. Jadi to get there is no easy way, to be honest. You know, many long hours in my life, years of long hours, years of learning, years of studying, years of criticizing myself, my own work, if it's good enough or not. Jadi by doing that, somehow the growth happens in your system, you know, in your mind, in your body, and then after, I think I can comfortably say after 15 years, the job, I mastered the job. You know, the brains are trained, and then, you know, the body also knows what to do, so everything becomes easier, but only after 15 years.
After 15 years. So if you're still like working on something, it's just started. So you just wait until that time comes ya. Maybe not in 15 years because it's very different world kan back
Correct.
then and
And
today.
today,
Iya, and
betul.
today we can learn from anyone gitu. So many tools that can help us. Jadi maybe
Betul.
it's gonna be faster when we never know when ya, but it's gonna come. And that's about underestimate. And then also what interesting until today lebih ke Indonesian women, so many
Sure.
barriers that like limiting us gitu kan. Maybe there's things that you, because I saw you kayak keep talking to young women and motivate them, trying to listen to them. Pasti ada tuh benang merahnya, sesuatu yang bikin Indonesian women, especially the young generation itu kayak hold back gitu. I don't wanna do this because this. Nah itu mungkin apa sih yang bisa disorotin?
Kalau di Indonesia mungkin keluarga ya. Keluarga kan nggak semua keluarga itu exposure-nya sama. Maksudnya kalau kita sebagai Indonesian woman mau punya karir yang contoh bukan cuma karir sih, kerjaan, karya, mau berkarya lah, lebih mungkin bahasanya lebih berkarya. Mau berkarya terus keluarganya nggak support itu pasti udah a big barrier di dalam diri kita gitu. Jadi mungkin keluarga juga harus jadi support system yang benar-benar dapat exposure yang benar gitu. Jadi apalagi zaman sekarang jenis pekerjaan tuh beda-beda banget dengan jenis
Zaman
pekerjaan 10
dulu.
tahun lalu aja udah beda gitu. Mungkin orang tua sekarang nggak tahu kalau anaknya bilang, "Oh, saya mau jadi YouTuber," gitu. Mungkin orang tuanya, "Waduh, apaan tuh?
Masa depannya
Makan
gimana?
iya,
Mau makan
dari
apa?"
mana?"
Iya,
gitu
iya,
kan.
iya.
Jadi mungkin juga orang tua, keluarga harus dapat exposure bahwa pekerjaan itu bermacam-macam dan cara mendapatkan uang juga berbeda-beda gitu. Jadi support system tuh sangat penting, tapi selain itu kalau dari kita sebagai Indonesian woman memang harus lebih banyak latihan ekspresi ya. Ekspresi maksudnya kita harus bisa express our thinking gitu. Maksudnya harus bisa
Mengutarakan, express your words gitu.
exactly, express what you think, say how you feel. Itu kalau dari pengalaman saya, kalau contoh nih ada project dengan berbagai macam negara, Indonesia termasuk. Nah itu kelihatan banget tuh. Jadi semua orang ada opinion, mereka tahu apa yang mereka kerjain, yang dari Indonesia pasti diem aja. Nah, terus ada yang nanya nih, "What do you think about my team in Indonesia?" gitu. Contoh nanya ya dari headquarter mana lah, katakanlah dari Eropa, dia nanya, "What do you think about my team in Indonesia?" And then I will answer, even I'm Indonesian, I will answer, it's very difficult to say what I think when they don't say anything. If you're sitting there for hours in a meeting and then you don't say anything, what will I think about them? It's very difficult. So our communication skills, I think, can be, made better. We can train ourselves to have better communication. For example, as professionals, as creative worker, as people in general.
Berarti sebenarnya masalahnya adalah komunikasi ya, kayak orang Indonesia nggak terbiasa untuk mengekspresikan apa yang dia rasain. Apa masalahnya? Mungkin takut dicap sesuatu kah? Apa memang itu cara orang tua membesarkan anak-anaknya untuk nggak usah bertanya, never asking back, never question what I said. Apa sih mungkin kalau bisa ditarik? Karena sering kan. Dan itu fenomena nggak cuman dulu sampai hari ini ya. Dari kita kecil sampai sekarang permasalahannya itu sama. And I also sometimes feel that itu unconsciously kayak tiba-tiba I'm not supposed to say this gitu. Itu muncul dan kalau udah segede ini nggak tahu dong masalahnya apa,
Betul,
akarnya
betul,
gimana.
betul,
Tapi
betul.
how you try to see this phenomenon itu dari mana sih?
Tapi bener ya, kembali lagi ke keluarga. Kayaknya benar sekali di dalam keluarga kita, nggak usah diomongin. Terus nggak ada mungkin kebiasaan-kebiasaan sitting around dining table and talk about a matter. Karena when we do that, we are also training ourselves to think and communicate. Nah mungkin kalau kita nggak pernah latihan, intinya latihan ya. Kalau di dalam keluarga kita nggak pernah latihan komunikasi, nggak pernah latihan terbuka dengan anak sesama anggota keluarga, anaknya juga contoh nih orang tuanya nggak pernah komunikasi dengan terbuka. Ada ya masih banyak kan orang tua yang suka katakanlah bohong gitu sama anaknya, jangan pegang ini nanti digigit ular gitu kan, padahal jangan pegang ini karena kalau
Bahaya atau apa?
bahaya bisa jatuh, nanti kalau jatuh luka gitu, dan mungkin penjelasan-penjelasan yang make sense.
Yep.
Itu agak kurang mungkin ya di keluarga-keluarga Indonesia. Jadi mungkin kalau kita biasakan komunikasi untuk juga hal-hal itu jadinya make sense. Jadi kita nggak ngerasa, "Oh nanti ke saya kalau ngomong, omong kosong. Oh nanti kayak saya ngomong, bener nggak ya?" Jadi kita terbiasa latihan komunikasi dan mengutarakan pendapat karena itu make sense gitu. Mungkin itu hal yang bisa kita latih sih sebagai perempuan Indonesia.
Jadi sebenarnya akarnya mungkin kita ya as a women, Indonesian women, maybe later we are gonna be a mothers as well, or we can be someone that trying to train some other younger generation. Intinya adalah komunikasi, kemudian juga mengekspresikan apa yang kita mau rasakan dan juga fokus on yourself gitu. Itu mungkin 3 hal yang bisa aku summarize dari what we talk right now. Karena tema kita dan juga judul kita adalah The Shining Woman. Nah, maybe how we are gonna find that shine when we are in doubt. Mungkin itu ya masalahnya. Aku mau tahu nih, kadang-kadang orang tahu gue cara ngomong, mungkin how my parents raised me itu tuh nggak ngomong gitu. Tapi apa sih yang bisa men-trigger so we can actually do that gitu, shine in our own time and our own way. Mungkin tipsnya apa sih?
Tipsnya ini, ini menurut aku bagus banget ya, karena di dalam, dunia perempuan ada yang namanya sisterhood. Nah, daripada kita energinya dipakai untuk, ngeliatin orang lain dan gosip atau jealous, mendingan seperti forum ini menurut aku bagus karena kita bisa belajar satu sama lain gitu, belajar dari perempuan yang lain, apa sih yang bagus dari perempuan A atau B atau C, pasti banyak di sekitar kita perempuan-perempuan, wanita-wanita yang kita bisa lihat dan pelajari. Kelebihannya apa? Nah, menurut saya nggak orangnya memang bukan yang suka referensi atau suka compare dengan orang lain, tapi orang lain tuh jadi referensi buat saya gitu. Oh, Dita bagusnya A, orang lain bagusnya B, nanti si ini bagusnya C, dan dari situ saya pelajari, oh apalah sih yang bisa saya pelajari dari hal itu. Jadi mungkin, eee, as Indonesian women we can learn from each other karena I think Indonesian women are amazing, very creative, very brave, dan selalu menemukan jalan ya. Orang Indonesia tuh kreatif gitu. Jadi, there are so many things that we can learn from each other sih.
Okay. That's so interesting. I think this whole conversation is gonna help us in many ways. And then the last part is so powerful karena we never stop learning ya. Like I mean, like you're before and then you're today. You're still like learning from someone else, even they're younger than you. You're just very open minded. I think it's supposed to be like more Indonesian women have the same mindset like this. Gitu. Thank you so much for
Thank you so
telling
much.
us all your story, your journey, and also your motivation to us. Maybe one last thing, mungkin satu hal lagi ya. For the women, they always feel that they are not enough for any case. Maybe the last one quotes that you wanna say to all the women that probably watching us today, not only women, maybe men, to make them stop feeling that they are not enough. Gitu. Yeah. What you usually do? Maybe nggak tahu, pernah nggak sih ngerasa kayak I'm not enough? There's any terms like that in your life or never?
I think I was teaching myself early to not believe in that, to not believe when someone says, "Oh, that's not good enough," or "good enough." I think I believe. So then you can learn, you can make yourself better. You can improve. That I believe, but not enough as an idea. I think it's a little crazy because everyone is born different. Everyone has different talents. So we are not enough for one thing, but we will be abundant in other things. So find the place where you are extra, you are plus, and then keep watering that, so then you believe about that you are more than enough in what you do, but not thinking that you're not enough. I don't think that's healthy to think that. So probably that's one important thing, engage only in healthy things in our life. If there is a saying, "Oh, you're not enough," or someone tells you that, that's not healthy. So don't engage, don't believe in that because that's not gonna help.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much.
much.
You're so bold even in our conversation. So thank you so much for your honesty and then your strength and also for sharing this truth behind your journey. And you're also like a reminder, yeah, for everyone's here that courage doesn't mean having no fear, but courage means moving forward anyway, because everything is gonna be fine at the end of the day. And to every woman that listening, if you feel small, or you feel limited by expectation, or if you feel like life has boxed you in, let this conversation remind you that your story is yours to shape. You shine even when you don't feel like it. And you shine in your own way, in your own time. And thank you so much for listening to our very first episode of The Shining Woman. This is only the beginning.